You are tuned in to What a Baltimore Online Radio. Please note that the views and opinions expressed are of the host and not of Lady J Media. Thank you and enjoy the show. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our first edition of Minding Our Business. And the reason it's called Minding Our Business is because we have Miss Yolanda, who is going to be doing the show with me. My name is Dr. Lady J, and we're minding our business, but we want to mind yours as well. We want to help you mind your business as well. So tonight we have a special guest on, and he's brought one of his team members. And basically, everybody, this show is about um, helping people to promote their business, their brand, their platform, to get it out there. So Yolanda and I came up with this idea of having a show that's about businesses. And if you're a business owner or if you're an entrepreneur, you're trying to get your business started, we want to be able to bring you on the platform to help you out. If you contact us, I will put the number up in just a few minutes, and you'll be able to contact us so you can be on our show and we can help you to mind your business. So tonight we want to welcome Mr. David McNair to our first show. Yes. We welcome him to our very first show. Thank you for coming on. And I'm going to ask him if he would take a moment and tell us a little bit about himself.
Well, my name is David McNair. I am the CEO and founder of Creative Influence. It's creative with a K. And we believe in providing the creative touch. And so whatever it is that we have come upon or whatever we embark in this new season, we have found we cannot put a quote unquote name to what we're doing, but we have a broad amount of things that we're taking care of. And I brought with me Miss McKinney, who is one of my board members. She sits as the VP as well. And so I'm excited tonight to be able to join. Can I call you Elder Buckingham on the show tonight? To be able to say
you can do that if you would like.
Tonight, it was such an honor for her to call and ask if we would do the first show with her on tonight, and so I am definitely just excited. I'm just here to promote Creative Influence, to have a conversation tonight about what Creative Influence does. Right now, Creative Influence has taken on the assignment of feeding and giving back to the community, and so we have been doing that over a year. When the pandemic hit, it was an idea of how we could give back to the community and how we could, give food and things like that, because we didn't know what was going on when the pandemic hit. Everybody was kind of like up in a frenzy. We were just like, well, what's going to happen? What's going to do? They told you go in the house and stay inside and don't come out. And so we decided not to do that. We began to pull on resources and find out how we were going to give back to our community. And I had a group of 4 crazy ladies who got out there and worked with me. And we made it happen. And up until right now, we are still serving the community. We serve over 420 meals every Saturday, vegetable boxes, fruit. We give away, all kinds of things. Whatever we can get our hands on, we're giving back to the community. And so those courageous women, they keep pushing me. Miss McKinney, we had Miss Dana Johnson, we had Yvette, Craig. They were just one of the greatest teams in the world. And they're like, just find it and we'll make it happen. And so because of that great team, Creative Influence took a turn, because originally we were only working with young people. We were working with teenagers, being a mentorship program for teenagers. And so we had taken on being able to give back to the community and be able to take those same teenagers and show them that we can be a beacon of light to the community, where it's not just the church and the 4 walls of the church, but we can be the extension and go out to our own communities and give back and say, hey, we're here. So whatever it is we can provide, we're willing to do so.
That's really awesome. And again, I appreciate you coming on. I'm going to I'm going to get you and Yolanda have a relationship. So I'm going to let her ask you some questions. I'm going to pull back because I'm always talking. I'm going to pull back and let her ask you some questions, and I'm going to listen.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in. So David is like a brother to me. I met David at Greater Paradise Christian Center, which is the church we attend, Bishop Sean L. Bell. And he has been such a blessing to me and my family, as well as others. And I watched how just he just doesn't mind giving of himself. So I thought it would be a wonderful idea to have him on the first show because he's still, even in the pandemic, giving. And then because of David, I met Miss McKinney, who is just a wonderful spirit altogether. So the one question that I always wanted to ask David and Miss McKinney is, how did you two become acquainted with each other?
Interesting story. Interesting story.
I was working for a company, and I won't mention the company. I was working for this company, and it was my job to meet community members and to find resources and things like that to be able to work together in our community. And I just went around to Miss McKinney's job and kind of like knocked on the door to say, hey, how are you? I'm here to meet whoever is your community liaison, whoever is your person that's working in the community. And they I went into the main office and they called Miss McKinney upstairs. And Miss McKinney comes upstairs, and literally as she walks up the steps, I see her coming towards the office, and I'm like, I think that's that lady. That's her. She's a community lady, because she was talking to everybody. The kids were like really like, Miss McKinney, Miss McKinney. I was like, yeah, that has to be her. And she took me down to her office. We had a conversation, and it exploded from there. And all I can say is the rest is history. We have been joined at the hip, and there's nothing that can tear us apart because I'm that little brother and I ain't going nowhere. So she has become not only a great friend, but she has become a board member of Creative Influence, and she has now taken the seat of what I call president, because I call her the boss. But she's taken the seat of VP, and she's running things for me. So I'll let her tell her side of this crazy guy who just walked in her office.
Well, it does go a little bit more than a crazy guy walking into my office, which is hilarious. So actually, Yolanda, a common friend of ours was hosting an event at my church, and David and I were volunteering with this specific event that they were hosting at our church. And so that's where we first actually was introduced to one another, because again, behind the scenes, it was a big event, and we were just doing what we do, volunteering, and all of that. And then that's when he came to my school and asked to speak to the community person, because he was like, okay, I'm in this new position and I want to make partnerships with everybody in this community. Let me walk around here to Reach Partnership. Shameless plug, but that's the best school in Baltimore City. Reach Partnership on Harford Road, the former Lake Clifton. Yes. So, and then like he said, it was from there, it was history. We sat down, we began talking, and we kept saying, I know you. You know how you always run into somebody, you see their face, you start talking, and you're like, I know you from somewhere. Did we go to school together? You do the whole rundown. But then it actually dawned on us, oh my God, we worked on this event together at my church. And so that's how, we remembered who one another was. And from there, it was just a bond. I really do believe in divine order. I do believe how God just circumvents people's lives for a reason, a season, and a lifetime. And I believe that this particular divine ordination, if I could say it like that, was truly ordained by God for us to meet the way that we did, reconnect the way that we did. And God has really been blessing on how Creative Influence has made such a major impact in this city in this short period of time. Well, 18 months is not a short period of time, but you guys know what I mean.
So now I have had the esteemed privilege of volunteering with you guys, and I see the numerous amount of people that come in that line every Saturday. and they need, or they have become advocates for their neighborhood by taking boxes to their neighbors and other people in the neighborhood. So the thing I really want to know is, from that, others giving, is there any type of, how do I put it? Is there any type of collaboration that you'll be doing with any other neighborhoods to get them involved in giving the food away? Or are there any other type of collaborations that will be happening soon with Creative Influence that will help our communities more in Baltimore City?
I'll take 1 minute and then I'll pass it over to David. There's been a lot of other organizations who wanted to partner with us because of what we've been able to do. And there have been other communities that were able to distribute boxes as well. However, because of some unethical things people were doing at their sites, those sites got closed down, and then we became, just who we are. So yes, as far as collaborating with other neighborhoods, people seeing who we are, and to be truthful, Yolanda, we really didn't do, David, a lot of advertising. I think we did maybe 2 or 3 flyers, and then everything else we will go live, on that Saturday morning, and just word of mouth. People have been coming, and just by us doing what we were doing, people want to start partnering with us, pouring resources into Creative Influence. You mentioned, in addition to the boxes, throughout this whole entire pandemic, beginning back the very first Saturday in March, not only were we able to serve the community with produce boxes and fresh bread every week, we've also been able to partner with other organizations where, David, help me out, we've given out 150 brand new coats. We got clothes from Old Navy, people were able to come by and get. For Thanksgiving, we gave over, I believe, close to 175 turkeys, and then we also delivered 50 Thanksgiving baskets to homes. We partnered with the nursing students at Coppin State University, as well as, I believe it was CVS, David, was it? And people were able to ride up and get a free flu shot or a free pneumonia shot. We also, were able to give out free PPE to people right in the thick of the pandemic, from masks to face shields to hand sanitizer, you name it. We also was able to partner with other organizations, and we were able to give out fresh meat to other people. David's father, the late great Reverend Dr. Hart, was the founder of the organization We Are Us, and I'm sure David can share a lot about them as well, how we collaborated with them throughout this time. And so being able to do things for other communities, we are really lodged in that 21218, 21213 community, but we're open to any community to be able.
Now, you mentioned David's dad, and we love Pastor Hart as well. Our condolences again to you, David. But we were going to ask the question about We Are Us, because we do realize that was plays a major part in David's life as well. So, David, can you tell us, with the passing of your dad, with you doing Creative Influences and he being the creator of We Are Us, how have you collaborated with We Are Us in memory of your father?
So my dad was not the actual quote unquote founding member of We Are Us. He actually worked with them, and he became their resource director. And so what he did was he used Creative Influence to bounce things off of, and how we could work together to get resources for the communities. And so there were many times where we were able to work together to find, tractor trailers of food that would come in and service the different communities. He was one where he really pushed making sure that everything that we needed was already in place before we started any event. And my dad was very stern when it came to making sure the community was taken care of. I can say, as of today, my father passed away, actually servicing the community. My father died on the phone planning an event. And so I am so excited. I'm so grateful. I am honored to be able to continue doing what my father was already doing. But one thing that he really pushed me to do was to make sure I was doing the work that God called me to do, and not try to stand in his footsteps. So we were actually working with two separate organizations, feeding the community on two separate sides of town. And so he would call, hey, how'd it go over there with you guys today? I said, everything was good today, Dad. Okay, good. Is there anything you need? No, I'm good, Dad. All right, great. So
I think we lost him for just a second. Uh-oh.
Lady J mentioned that earthquakes are.
Yeah.
Yeah, David went out, so I'm sure he'll be back. He went completely out.
Okay, so I'll text him and have him come back in and log back in. But while we have Miss
Here he
McKinney
is.
here,
Here he is.
I wanted. Oh, there he is. Is he coming back?
Trying to come back. There he is. Okay.
Yeah, there you are, David. Sorry, we lost you for a second.
yeah, I was like, oh, okay, all right. It sounds much better.
Yeah, it does. It
It
does.
does.
The Lord be kind to us. All right.
Yes.
So I was talking about my dad. Okay, so my dad was very stern about making sure things were in order. He was a phenomenal preacher, but my dad was very, very, very big on order. He taught a lot of ministers and preachers how to do sermon prep and all those kind of things. But he did not just use that for ministry. He used that in life. My father was a member of the military, so everything had an order to it for him. And so he always made sure that I had a plan in place. David, what happens, when you get out there and 900 people show up and you only have enough to feed 100? How are you going to handle that? And so we used to have those kind of conversations. And so I didn't just get this overnight, I just woke up one night and was like, oh, I have these creative ideas and this, that, and the other. No, I was trained in this. And I was also trained by Bishop Sean Bell. I have been with Bishop Sean Bell since the age of 16. And literally, I was given the opportunity to, run events and be the brains and be the person that would help put these events together to make things happen for the community. And so while I had all that information stored up in me, I felt it was time for me to take what I knew God was calling me to do and not go start a church, not go start a ministry, but do something outside of the church walls that was going to be, something that would help just the community. And I knew God was calling me just to be out there and be a part of the community and be a part of what I call the marketplace. Be a part of that area where a lot of people don't like to go, because you get out there in the marketplace and you find a lot of people who you don't, they don't look like you, they don't smell like you. People sometimes look down at those people that's in the marketplace because they're trying to figure things out. But God has called me, Miss McKinney, and all of us to be out there and help the people. And that is where we are. We're out.
Him again. Oh no, we lost him again. I was going to ask a question. How do people donate food or whatever you need for what you're doing?
So it's actually two things, and thanks for asking. So sometimes as people come through the line, some people may donate right there on the spot. As far as donating food, they can donate to Reach Partnership, to our food pantry. But we get a lot of our food from our partnerships with the Maryland Food Bank and through other resources as well. So if you want to stop past the school, you can just call, make an appointment, and we'll bag up the groceries and have them there for you. But if you would like to make a donation, you can reach out and contact David on his IG page or on our Facebook page, or feel free to stop by this Saturday. We'll be there this Saturday. It is a holiday weekend. People, you can come by and get a produce box for your cookout for the July 4th holiday. So we will be there. And you can just make your donation right there on the spot.
And I wanted to read the comments. Lewis Thomas said, "This is so amazing. Simone said, "Hi, Uncle David. Hi, Miss M. Hi, Mommy.
Oh
Hi,
my gosh, that little girl.
Simone." And then Queen, I think it's Queen Lyrica Malina.
Camilla, that's Simone too. She's on her other page.
She said, "My family is filled with Black entrepreneurs. I'm loving it, period." Yeah, that's awesome. There's a lot of entrepreneurs out there and a lot of people who are really doing great things. And so that's what this show is about. We want to invite people to be a part of this. And if you are um, looking at this, or listening on the radio, make sure that you share and let somebody know that we're on. They can actually go to ladyjmedia.com and that'll take you to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. You can listen to it on the radio. So let everybody know about David and about what he's doing, what him and his partners are doing, because I think it's a really, really great thing. And especially in our city, we need it badly here in our city because a lot of people are struggling and suffering right now.
Yes, and if I can say, Lady J, it does take a whole village to do what we're doing, working with David. And so, one of our board members just texted me. You asked also about ways people can donate. If they log on to any of our social media pages, they can see our donation portals right there as well.
Okay. And everybody is scrolling at the bottom. So you see his IG, Facebook page, and Creative Influence, that's with a K. So make sure you go and check it out and you'll be able to, let's all donate and support what they're doing.
Yeah. Now, I wanted to ask David because I know, and you did mention earlier that Creative Influence started out with young people. So I wanted to ask you, how have you been able to integrate the young people in what you're doing?
Okay, that's a good question. Thanks, Yolanda. So this started out as a mentorship program where I was taking some of the young persons that were always calling me Uncle David, and my niece would get jealous because she's like, I'm the only one that really he's my uncle. But I had all these young people that were kind of flocking to me because I like to do fun things. I am one where I'm always thinking of something new, fresh, trying to be creative with what we're doing and how we're going to influence our young people to do the right thing. And so what I was doing was I was using arts at that time to help young people express themselves in another way. So we were working on plays. A lot of people don't know, excuse me, but I write plays. And so in me writing plays, I was taking some of the young people, showing them how to use the creative arts and to express themselves and things of that nature. But once the pandemic happened and we took on this new venture, I was able to pull in some of the young people. And I've met probably, Ms. McKinney, what would you say, probably like 20 to 30 new young people that have been coming out. And they, some have come every Saturday. Some have come, every other Saturday. Some will say, I can volunteer once a month, but they'll come out and they will jump in and they will serve with us. They will jump in, do whatever we're asking, and they love the opportunity to be able to service the community and help. And sometimes we just have to build opportunities for young people to feel like they can fit in and be a part of something. And so this is a great way for young people to come and say, hey, I was able to service this amount of people on Saturday. I was able to help meet the need of this. We're not only just serving food, but we do so many other things. We actually, we're supporting 3 summer camps right now. So we had a summer camp drive where we raised money to sponsor some kids to go to different summer camps. Something that's getting ready to come up. We're actually about to sponsor which I have never heard of in the city, not yet. We're getting ready to sponsor a teenage boot camp. And that teenage boot camp is getting ready to be something that we're going to blast out there because our teenagers are kind of, they're in between. They're they try to get that adulthood mindset that I'm an adult and I'm ready, but yet they don't have any influencers to show them that, once you get out here, it's serious. We're going to do some things like hood economics and, different things that's going to push them to show that there's another part of life or there's another way in life that you can deal with things. We're actually going to be teaching these young people how to deal with life situations. I don't see a lot of classes on how to deal with quote unquote the police officers and things of that nature, how to diffuse a situation before it becomes a situation. Those are the conversations we have to have with our young people now. And so we're getting ready to do a teenagers enhancement boot camp. I'm so excited about this. So, you guys will follow me on social media. We're getting ready to do another campaign and raise some funds to be able to donate certain things. These teenagers will walk away from that program, not only with classes, not only with certifications, we're getting them certified in CPR. We're trying to get them certified in first aid. We're going to get them certified with dealing with life situations back in their own neighborhoods. Like there is what is it called, Miss McKinney? I get the name
Narcan.
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 Yes. We're going to train in Narcan that if someone falls out on their street, they have something to help people. You squirt up their nose and they're able to, come back if they do an overdose, those kind of things. So we're going to be working very hard in making sure that we're bridging all of quote unquote the village back together. And I am able to do it because I took on a position as a director at Cecil Kirk Recreation and Parks. And so I'm the new director over there. And so not only am I able to help build, the young people, but I am working on how we can build the agencies in the city back together. Like we're always talking about how it takes a village to raise a child, but where is the village? So I'm calling that village back together. I'm calling the persons who say, you know what? I want to be a part of that circle that's going to help somebody. I want to be a part of that circle because one day it might be your child. One day it might be your niece. One day it might be your nephew. And you need to have that village already in place that if there is going to be a group of people who are going to say, I'm going to stand up, I'm going to take the vow to make sure we can push our young people to wherever we need them to be or for whatever we need them to do. I'm just calling on people. I'm calling on resources. I'm calling on connections. So, Dr. J, I'm probably calling you soon, to figure out how we can show some of these young people to be entrepreneurs. And maybe you can have them on your show and boost them. Like right now, we have a young man who sits on our board, Mr. Jason Brooks. He actually wrote a book dealing with, how we should be dealing, or the conversation that should be that we should be happening, or we should be having, with young people about what's going on in the world. They see all this stuff on social media, but who's having these conversations with him? So he took the opportunity to write a book. And so I want to push those young people. I want to show them, hey, you can get out there and share with the world your book and all those kind of things. So we're just taking this one day at a time, but I'm moving us really quickly. I have a new slogan that I have been using. We want to think big, but we want to do bigger.
David, I am like over here. I'm so excited about what you're doing. I think this is fantastic. Whatever you need me to do as far as helping you or coming out to cover something, please call me. I'll be there.
Okay. Now, don't say that to me, Miss Dr. J, because I'm crazy.
He's coming for you.
He will come. He will come.
He's coming for you. He will put you to work.
If I've ever heard it.
I'm crazy enough to say it and be in all these places. And so a lot of people think I have this huge team, and it's just myself and my son. And we're constantly out there because that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be out there. I love what you're doing. Joyce Butler said, she said, excellent idea. The boot camp, she said, is an excellent idea. We have, this is DJ Harmonic said, truly a blessing that is needed. I totally agree. Totally agree. Totally agree.
So, David, Miss McKinney, either one of you want to answer or both. So, you guys are doing a lot in the community. What would you say to someone who says, well, he's a director at, he just took a position. Now he's a director somewhere. And Miss McKinney, she's, a liaison at a school reach partnership. I don't have those credentials. What is it that I can do? Because I don't have a lot. It's just me. And maybe I have a high school diploma, or, maybe I don't know a whole lot of people. What would you say to someone who wants to give back to the community, but they don't feel like they have the quote unquote credentials to do so?
Use what you have. Use what you have. I'm not trying to be funny. David had 5 stones and a slingshot, and he brought down a giant. So if you have a voice, use your voice. If you have hands, you can draw, you can type, you can pack, whatever you can do. Use what you have. A lot of people have a lot of those letters behind their names, and I'm not knocking it at all. Kudos to you if you have gone back to school and you rightfully earned your PhD, your MBA, your bachelor's degree. Kudos to you. That means you have a wealth of knowledge. What are you doing with it? Put it to work. A lot of people are out here in the community who don't have all of those credentials, like you said, Miss Yolanda, but they have a heart and a passion for the community. They have a heart and a passion for young people. They have a heart and a passion to see change, especially after what we've been seeing, what's been going on in Baltimore in just these 6 months. There's endless, mindless shootings that's been taking place. We got to do something. Everybody talks about it. We do see organizations that's out there in the streets doing things in their community. We can't operate as a silo. We have to operate together, collaboratively. So whether you're on the west side, you're on the east side, you're in Cherry Hill, wherever you are in Baltimore, work together. No matter where you are, everybody got some type of need. Example, food, hunger has no color. You can be black, white, Asian, Hispanic, you still hungry. We can feed you. We can clothe you. We can provide resources or connect you to some resources or where you can get the assistance. So don't be discouraged if you don't have any credentials behind your name, because what we can do is help you to find some resources so you can get some credentials. And credentials mean an experience, whether it's through volunteering, whether it's through you wanting to go back to school, but you don't know how. If you want to earn your GED, we can show you the resources, the path to take for you to get it. So don't be discouraged if you don't have whatever these credentials are that you think you need to be able to help and to support. If God gave you breath in your body, you got a mind, you got hands, you got feet, you got mouth, you have ears. You can hear instruction on what to do. You got your hands to do it. You got your feet to take you there to get it done. And you got a mouth to ask questions if you don't know how.
That's right. And I wanted to also, Dana Jones says, great day, family. Hey, Dana.
Dana is another one of
Oh,
the board members for Creative Influence. So we just want to let them know, hey, Dana.
Hey, Dana. So I wanted to also tell David and Miss McKinney that next Tuesday at 6 o'clock, my station, I'm actually hosting a town hall meeting. And this town hall meeting is for people who are doing exactly what you're doing. I'm going to give everybody the floor to get up, to say what you're doing, because it's like what I'm seeing in the city as I go out and about every single day is a lot of people are doing stuff, but nobody knows each other. And it's just like we're kind of passing ships. So what I want to do is bring everybody into the room. We're going to sit there. We're going to have a conversation just like we're doing right now, exchange business cards, information, because we need to be helping each other in the community. If you need some food, you should be able to call Lady J or call somebody else and say, look, do you know where I can get such and such from? So that's going to be next Tuesday from 6 to 8. I hope you all can make it. I'll send you the information. I really would like for you to come and stand up front and tell us exactly what your organization is doing. And I love the boot camp thing. That's amazing. So, I hope you can be there to join us next week.
Okay. Well, I wanted to say this, and I'm glad you touched on that point, because going back to Yolanda's question, I believe that you have to be the connector. You got to make the connection. And so what we are experiencing now is a lot of companies are not coming together just to make that connection. Everybody's trying to figure out what they can get, how they can get it, what I can pull on, what I can make happen. But if we learn to come together and say, you focus in this lane and I'll focus in this lane, and when we find certain things, we can bring it together. But the problem with that is you have to make sure people's motives are right. I found a group of persons, Miss McKinney, Dana, the whole team, Pastor Luke, everybody who works along with me, all of our motives are pure. The only thing we are out here trying to do is service the community. We're not trying to make any money. We're accountable to everything that we do. For every dime, Ms. McKinney will tell you this, every dime that we get in donations, we make sure we are buying donations and giving it back to the community. And we are cleaning the accounts out to make sure that everything is going back to the communities. We're not doing anything to try to pay anybody. If anybody's being paid by creative influence, I want you to call and let me know, because none of us have gotten a check yet. Not a one of us. And so, not saying that we won't one day, but what I am saying is we have pure motives to make sure that what we have been called to do and what we are saying we are doing, we are actually doing it. And so, even with being the connector, this past Thursday at our recreation center, I actually had something called the Community Connect, where it was just a group of companies, businesses that came together. We were in our yard. All I asked them to do was set up a table and just give free giveaways back to the community, and they could share all their information with the community as much as they wanted. And people were so excited, so much so that it is happening again on July the 10th. I think it's the 10th, whatever that Saturday is. We're going to be back out there doing that again. And if anyone wants to be a vendor, you can reach out to us, KI, and let us know you would like to be a vendor. And there's no vendor's fee. There's no, we're trying to make money. You can't sell anything. The only thing you can do is give back to the community and let the community know, as a business, we are here for you. And as a business, we want to share with you information that if you ever need our services, here we are. I don't care if the giveaway is some, bubble gum. You just give bubble gum away back to the community. And that's how you get back to be able to show that, hey, we are here to service you in any way necessary. So I'd love for you guys to even come, to that event and be able to mingle with some of the other companies that are right here in the area. Maybe you can have them on your show as well. But as Sister McKinney, Elder McKinney, she will tell you that, I am the connector. I'm always looking at how we're going to make the connection, how we're going to bring the resources together. We're not going to be selfish with what we have. We're going to follow the rules, but we're not just going to try to keep it all to ourselves. And so Dana put on here, I like bubblegum. She's a mess. I love it. And so we are in collaboration with several other companies, several other businesses, several other leaders. And we're just out here making things happen for the community. And so you just got to make sure that your motives are correct and that you're willing to make the connection. And that is how I make sure persons are staying, right when they're working with us anyway. You're making the connection, but what are your motives? And I'm a watcher. McKinney would tell you, I'll sit back and watch you and then come back and tell you, no, I don't think this is a good fit for you. And they like, why, what's going on? Because I'm like, you haven't done anything yet. So, I don't like talkers. I don't like a lot of people that's willing to talk, but you have nothing to support what you're saying. I'll ask you, let me see your Instagram. Let me see what you've done. And if it's pictures from 5 years ago, no, this is not a good fit for you. You have what are you doing to the community? Or be honest with me and say, I need help. And we're willing to even help businesses. Yolanda will tell you, we help everybody. Whatever we need to do, we're out there servicing and pushing in the community.
I like that. I like everything that you said, because that's the way I am, David. I'm about my business. Like, if you out here playing or you doing some other stuff, I tell you the exit real quick. I don't have time for it. So I love what you're doing. And one thing that I'm glad you pointed out is about the money thing, because it's like with us, with our people, we are our worst enemy sometimes. And they'll see organizations like this, or they'll see other people doing stuff, and the first thing they want to know, well, how much money are they getting, or who's getting paid? It's always a lot of little stuff going on, and we have to learn to put that aside and start supporting, especially our Black business owners, and supporting people who are actually out here doing something. So I'm glad you made that clear about the money and what you're doing. And I want to make sure that everybody heard what he said about the vendors, because with us, we hear free, and that's all we hear, free vending. But he said free vending, and you give stuff away. So it's not like you're going to be able to come out and set up your table and for free and sell some stuff. They're asking for you to come out and vend, and you have to have a heart to do that as well. You either want to do it or you don't. You got to be real about this. So he's asking you to come out and vend, but keep in mind, he's giving you this space for free, And in turn, you are giving your services or whatever you have, you're giving back to the community. So listen, I love it. We have about 10 or 12 minutes left. So if anybody, I see we have a lot of people watching, we got a lot of people listening. Thank you so much because it's the first show.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
Thank you. Yes.
a lot of people on the radio and on here, so thank you. I guess a lot of people want to do business, but if you want to call David and Miss McKinney and talk to them, the numbers on the screen is 443-297-4753. If you want to ask a question, if you want to know how to donate, if you want to get involved, call them, 443-297-4753. And let's see, this is oh yeah, Joyce Butler said yes, boots on the ground. Don't come dressed up, don't come with high heels on. When you come out to work. I see some of these women, I'm like, where are y'all going? Like, we're in the hood. Take the heels off, take the dresses off, come like you're ready to work. That's what you're out there for the community. So if you're gonna be about it, come and help them out. Again, this is I love what they're doing. Creative influence with a K. So I'm going to turn it back over to David and Miss McKinney. Look, this is your time to tell us exactly what you want us to do or what you need the community to do. You got your 10 minutes. Just go for it and let us know what you need.
Give me 1 second before they start. I want to, because you said a lot of people are listening. And so, what David and Miss McKinney are saying to us is a principle. And I want people to understand the principle. The principle is sowing and reaping. You can't get anything with a closed hand, nor can you give anything with your hand closed. You have to be willing to give something. If you give, the blessings will come back to you. You can't expect to plant an apple tree and get tomatoes. If you want tomatoes, you got to plant the tomatoes. You got to water it, and you got to till the ground so that you'll be sowing what you're sowing in good ground. And so, David, Miss McKinney, Creative Influence, I want to say to you guys, kudos and thank you for teaching that principle to people. Because if you're not a giver and you're always a receiver, eventually that blessing is going to run out. But if you teach people how to sow, it's just like I hear the saying, if you give a man the fish, he'll eat for a day. But if you teach him to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. That is so true. And what you're doing is teaching the community how to serve each other and how to help each other. If we continue to give back and forth to each other, we'll never run out of resources.
Right.
So
absolutely.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for that.
John Hansborough, we had a comment. John Hansborough said, to be blessed, you must bless others. This is a great show. I think it's powerful what you all are doing. And I agree. She was preaching a sermon. I agree with what she said because I myself, I started out just me. Like I had an idea. God gave me a plan. And a lot of times, everybody, God will give you the plan, and you may not even understand where this may sound unfamiliar, and you sitting there trying to figure out like, what in the world am I supposed to do? But he's just asking you to take that initial step, and he's going to provide everything that you need, put the right people in place. But it's all about trusting him. And what Yolanda said, I mean, I agree 1,000% because I stepped out on my own doing what God told me to do, and the doors that he has opened in just a few short months are absolutely amazing, and nobody can do that but him. But when you hold everything and you don't want to give, listen, you see how my fists are? Everything, it's just going to stay with you. But when you open your hands and give, God will fill your hands up to the overflow. I'm a witness to that. So I'm with her, like, kudos to you for what you're doing. And everything is not always about money, because the money will come. The money will come. Just get out there and do what you're supposed to do. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet. I'm done.
So you guys were talking about giving and ways that you can give. And thanks for putting out the number. You can give your time. If you want to come and volunteer one of the Saturdays, we'd be more than happy to have you come and volunteer. If you want to give your lucre, yes, we'll take your money as well. But like David said, the money goes right back into the community and to programmings that we offer to the community. If you want to do an in-kind donation, maybe perhaps, we've been out there in the summertime, you want to bring the volunteers some water. Just give. Any way you can give. You can sacrifice your time, you can sacrifice your labor, you can sacrifice your lucre. So either way you want to give to us, even as the boots on the ground, the teenage camp is coming up, we're going to need some resources for these kids. In addition to what David was sharing about hood economics, as you all know, this past year has been extremely challenging to us all, especially to the teenagers who had to go to school virtually. So a lot of social emotional activities that we're going to do and talk about conflict resolution and how to cope during this time and how to reacclimate back into the school system. We don't talk about things like that. They've been in a virtual world this whole year. Now we get ready to thrust them back into the building. So we've been physically distanced, not so much socially, because that's not the way God created us. At least that's the way I see it. So now we got to reacclimate them to going back into the building and how you are to address your administrators, your teachers, your teammates, your peers. So we're going to do a lot of mental health awareness. We're going to talk about suicide. We're going to talk about depression. We're going to talk about different strategies and have some behavior therapists to come in and to show us some coping strategies with our teenagers. So again, whatever you can do to support us, we're more than happy to accept any type of donations that you may have. Again, you can give your time. You can donate an hour of your time to come, maybe just to clean up, to help set up, to help break down, whatever. Maybe you want to drop off $1, 50 cents. It goes a long way. We're going to get these things for these students so they will learn how to be productive citizens, what it means to give back to the community, how to empower your community. You're never too young. You'd be amazed to sit at the feet of some of the young people and the brilliant ideas that they come up with, and they just don't know how to get started. So we're there to support them and to encourage them and show them how to write a business plan, how to go after that grant. They may come up with an idea that we don't know about to help. What you can do to get back to the community, come out to the next event. You can help clean up. That's one beautification project. Let's get our neighborhoods cleaned up. Let's stop dumping the trash into the gutter, into the streets. Let's make our neighborhoods look good. And young people, this week going to teach. No, you didn't throw the trash there, but you don't want other people to make your neighborhood look bad either. So a whole lot is going to go into this boot camp, and we really need your support. Pray for us. We need that too. So there's many different ways that you can give. And Yolanda, you can drop off some of them good old cupcakes that you make too.
I got you.
So I want
Can you give us the actual date for the boot camp? Can you give us? Do you have dates for the boot camp?
The boot camp is going to be August the 16th through the 27th. It's going to be a 2-week boot camp.
Okay.
Yep. So let me just say this. I am always a encourager. And so there might be someone that's listening on the radio or listening on Facebook Live, and you're trying to figure out, how am I going to start my business, or how am I going to be this entrepreneur, or I've tried several times and I've done this and I've done that. Let me tell you this. If you stop trying, that is when your dream is going to die. But as long as you keep trying, you're going to get some type of positive progress that's going to happen. I like to tell people, with a lot of the things that happened to me in my life, I literally failed my way to success. I failed so many times at so many different things that I knew that when I needed to start again, and I had the opportunity to start again, to do what I was doing, I knew what not to do, because I had failed at something else. And so what I love to do is push somebody or encourage others to say, look, if it didn't work the first time, it does not mean that it wasn't meant to happen. It just means that maybe it wasn't the timing. It just means maybe you were not ready. Because I'm going to tell you this, I have come through some things in life where God had to mature me. God had to pull me into a position of saying, I want you to be able to listen to people. Because, when I was a little younger, I was just snappy. I was just, no, I don't want to do that. Nah, 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 nah. I was all over the place. But God had to mature me. God had to bring me to a place of being settled. And so that is when things started to really happen for me, when I learned that it was the new timing of God. And so even in us talking about what we're doing now, understand that if it's not the right timing for you to quote unquote be in the forefront, hook up with somebody else to be able to learn what you need to learn until it is your time to be out in the forefront. And it might just be the act or the will of God that while you are working in someone else's vineyard, that's what the scripture says. The Bible says, while you're working in someone and another man's vineyard, God will pull you out. And so in that, it might just be where you need to volunteer in someone else's community event, where you need to volunteer in someone else's 501c3 business, where you need to volunteer and put your hands to the plow. So when it's your time to lead, your time to go, further in what we have been called to do, you're already ready. You already have the experience. So what you need to sometimes do is say, you know what, I have to take off this hat of being, so proud and so have so much pride in us that we can't work in somebody else's vineyard. I go to other events and work like a workhorse, and don't have to be up front. You ain't got to call my name, but I understand that it takes all of us to make this happen. And so in that, I want somebody to be encouraged tonight that you are going to be exactly what God said you are going to be, but you got to wait for God's timing. And because you wait for God's timing, and when you wait for God's timing, God will put you in places you would never think anyone would be able to sit you in. Because when God makes this connection, when God sets you up to put you where you need to be, there is no man on this earth, no woman. I'm banging on my desk. I'm sorry, I'm preaching now. And there's no man, no woman, there's no witch, no warlock. No one can take you from where God is getting ready to set you up and put you. But you got to be willing to do the work. And that is the key. Do the work and keep your motives right. Do the work and keep your motives right. And sometimes you got to check yourself. Check yourself and say, you know what? If my motive's not right today, I'm not volunteering. Until you get yourself under control and say, I'm going to do this the right way. I'm going to help somebody else. You hear us talking about a teen boot camp. You know what? Somebody's mind should have clicked already and said, I know they're going to give away some kind of school supplies. So what I'm going to go out and do is buy a bunch of pencils and just call Creative Influence and say, I don't want you to know my name, but here's 1,000 pencils. And I'm like, well, we didn't need 1,000. I don't care, but here they are. Those are the kind of things that we have to be mindful and ready to do. Just like Yolanda was telling me about being sponsored on your show. The first thing I said to her was, I'm going to do it, but I'm ready to sponsor someone else as well.
Yep.
I don't know who the person is. I don't know what that's, but I'm ready to sponsor somebody else because I understand that you have to give. You have to give to be able to receive what God is pulling you into at this moment.
Absolutely.
And Dr. J, I can go to prophesying right now because you have not seen the doors. You cannot imagine the doors that God is getting ready to walk you into because you are opening doors for others. I'll say that because you are opening doors for others, be mindful in the next 21 days what God is going to do for you. You're opening up a new venture. You're opening up a new show. You are making opportunities for other people. So God has no choice but to bless you, but to open doors for you. And when it happens, don't forget the small people like me.
We won't.
Let me
We will not.
I am sitting over here literally holding back tears because I woke up this morning really, really discouraged because I helped so many people. And the past few months, I have gotten just stabbed in the back so many times. And I was just like, Lord, what is happening? What am I doing from this? It's like you're helping people.
Can I
Go
interrupt you?
Go ahead.
Can I interrupt you? Because what I want you to realize is those types of things that are happening to you right now are indicators. They're indicators that you are so close, to where God is getting ready to open up so many doors for you. It's like the gas light just came on and you need to pull over to the gas station. Baby, pull over to the gas station, rest for a second, fill up again, because what's getting ready to happen to you in the next 21 days, no man can take credit for what God is about to do for you.
Right.
And don't be discouraged. You got to take rest in this right now. The reason why you're discouraged is because God is pulling people away. Lord, have mercy. God is pulling people away from you. He's moving people out the way because they wanted to take credit. But God is not going to allow them to take credit for what he's about to do. I'm sorry. I don't mean to go into prophesying and all that kind of stuff. We're talking about entrepreneur and creative influence. But I just feel God. And God is speaking even in this moment, saying that you are about to open doors for other people. And he is going to bless you because you decided to open a door for someone else. There has to be at least 7 to 8 other doors that are going to open for you in the next 21 days that you're going to think that they are mind-blowing, but all you're going to be able to say is it's just God.
Wow.
Woo!
Wow.
I received it. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe this because I was so happy this morning. And I just thank you for that, right? I'm gonna stop talking because I'll be over here boohooing and everything. I got another show. But I thank you for that because we didn't even have a conversation. We never had a conversation, but thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wow.
I'll release more, but let's talk after this show.
Yes, yes. Wow.
Well, I thank you, David and Miss McKinney, because this was, and I think David, if you remember when Lady J had me on her panel with others and everybody was talking about what they were doing, and I said to David, "Oh, everybody's got something to do," and I didn't have anything to say that I was doing. So it was just really, God is just so awesome, because in my prayer time, he gave me this show and he had me to text Lady J and ask her, had she ever considered doing a show in this magnitude?
Mm-hmm.
And he had already given it to her as well. Mm-hmm. So, what you're saying is 100% right. And so, my prayer for this show is that the people that need to be out there, that God intends for them to be out there, that he brings them to us and we can get them out there. And my heart, and I know Lady J's heart, if I can speak for her, is to help the community. Mm-hmm. And so because I know that that is what God intended, that is exactly what we want to do in this time. So I want to thank you guys, because you guys are already doing what it is that we're attempting to do right now. And that is putting your feet on the ground and helping the community and being out there and not let it, it's rain, shine, sleet, snow. I've seen you guys. I've been out there with you guys. It's been pouring down, raining, and Miss McKinney will go in the building and get the tents. We'll put the tents up, and we're still out there giving, and the people are still coming. Just because it rains, it doesn't mean that people are not hungry or that they don't need. So I thank you guys for your faithfulness. If nobody has said anything to you, if nobody said thank you, if nobody has said it to you, I want to be the first to say thank you for your faithfulness, because if you don't do what God intended for you to do, somebody else is going to go lacking. Mm-hmm. So I'm so thankful for you guys that you don't think it's robbery to do the will of God. So I appreciate the both of you and Creative Influence.
And me too, from the bottom of my heart. I thank you. Like I said, the number that was on the screen, that's my number. You can call me at any time like everybody else does. Feel free. And we will definitely be out there. We'll get you in the magazine and promote you as much as I can. DJ Harmonic said 5 people just ran through my house. She said, my God. She said, bless his name. And that is so true. I'm telling you, I feel so much better right now because I had a lot going on today. And I really do. I thank you for coming on the show. I thank Yolanda for, we just met, was it last month or the month before?
It was a little bit, it's been about 3 or 4 months.
Now. Yeah, we met at my, well, I didn't know it was her friend, but we had the same friend at a birthday party. And even at the party, I was watching her because I'm very careful about who I have in my space, in my circle, in my house. And I was just watching her along with her husband, her daughter, and just watching the interaction. And I thought, wow, she would be a really cool lady to know. But I never knew at the time that we would be sitting here doing a show together. So I just thank God because that's what he does. He always put, and David, when you said about him pulling people away, he's pulled so many people away. And some of that pulling hurt because they were people that I like being around. But God was just saying they're not ready to go where you're going. And I see him now replacing those people with people like Yolanda. So I'm just so grateful. And like I said with the show, I'm looking at the station, I'm looking at all of this, and people are tuning in and listening. So we know that we're on the right path in doing this. And I want to give him all the praise because it's not about us.
Yeah,
And so
absolutely.
anything that I said, anything that you all are doing, Lady J Media will be there to support you. Everybody, make sure that you go to David's page, please. Creative Influences with a K. You want to go to his IG, his Facebook page, go look them up, support. They put it out there what you can do, how you can help, especially if you live in the Baltimore area. Now, David, I wanted to ask you too, because somebody had sent a text. Do you have this creative, I can't even get the word out, creative influence? Do they have a cash app where money can be
Yes.
donated?
Yes, we do have a cash app. It is $Creative INF. And if you do not, if you're not able to get proper information, we do have a number that you can call, which is 443-629-3061.
Okay, let me put that here. So you guys, if you want to cash out with the donation, I just put the cash app up. And what was the number again?
443
Uh-huh.
629 3061.
And I didn't get the last two numbers.
61.
3061. Okay. And what was this number for again?
That was if persons just wanted to call to get information. And if you can't find us, that way you can go to our website, which is www.creativeinfluence.com.
Okay. All right. If anybody watching us would like to be on the show, the number is on the screen. Advertise on the station. You can come on like David and Miss McKinney did today. You can come on here. You can advertise. If you want to get details about how to do that, please call or text that number, and we'll be more than happy to help you and to have you on and to talk to you and to really get what you're doing to get it out there for everybody else to see. Or if you know someone who is in business or an entrepreneur, they're working on something. And like I always tell you, y'all know I'm straight up. I'm for real. Don't come if you're just working on it, like you just thought about it last night. I'm talking about people coming on who really have some things going on in the community. You're actively working. You're doing something. You're trying to build your platform. Those are the people that we want for the show. This is not about playtime or anything like that. We want serious people out here who are ready to go and they're trying to take other people with them and you're moving forward. So I just want to put that out there. I'm happy for you if you're working on it, but if you just created it last night, that's not going to work. We need you to work on it a little bit more. And if you need help in working, I can probably assist you and push you in the direction of somebody to help you. But this platform is for people who are just ready to go and launch stuff and put it out there.
Jay,
So,
that might be the next endeavor. We might have to do an entrepreneurs boot camp too.
there you go. There you go. Look, your brain works like mine because I could be talking about something, and as soon as somebody says something, my brain is like do 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 do. And I'm always thinking about the next thing to do. So yeah, that's a good thing. I like that. And everybody, if you live in Baltimore City, next Tuesday will be Lady J Media's first town hall. That's for all of the people who are like David, Miss McKinney, Creative Influence. We want you to come out to this town hall meeting. I'll be posting it. I'll be giving more information on the station and on the shows as we go along of where it's going to be, where it's going to be located. It's going to be on the west side. So I will tell you that. But please come ready to share. Come ready to offer solutions. We're not coming there to argue and fuss. We're coming there to work together and offer solutions. So thank you all so much for joining us on our first show of
Yay, thank you.
Yay!
Yes.
We're talking our business, but we want to mind yours too. So thank you so much, David, Miss McKinney. Thank you to your team members that couldn't make it. God bless you. We wish you well. David, you and I are going to have to talk. We're going to have to talk. And Yolanda, anything you want to say before we go?
I love you guys. Thank you so much for being on the show today. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you so much. David's been buying cakes and cookies for a long time. So thank you so much. And Miss McKinney, she jumped on the bandwagon too. She bound them too. So I appreciate you guys. Everything that I'm doing, you guys are supporting. And I appreciate you guys. I will be there on Saturday. Rain, shine, sleet, or snow to help give out those boxes with you guys because I do believe in what you're doing. And I thank you for being such a blessing.
All right. Well, guys, have a great night. I got to go do 2 more shows. So make sure you stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We have Unusual Favor coming up. Now, this couple that's coming up, we know that they have put all of their business out there. But the reason they put it out there is because they want you to heal. And God has brought them together in a mighty way. So make sure you join their show. It's called Unusual Favor. They're coming on in just a few minutes. Right after that, at 8 o'clock, we got Life Unplugged, and he always is. His show is called Life Unplugged with the Truth Seeker. So the Truth Seeker always has something intriguing to talk about, and tonight is no different. So make sure that you stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned to Lady J Media. I'm just going to get a drink of water. I'll be right back, and I'll be sitting here engineering these shows. So you all have a great night. Thank you for joining us on our first show of Minding Our Business. Take care. See you next week.
Thank you, everybody.
Wednesday, 6
next week.
to 7, Minding Our Business.